Hello, everyone, and welcome to our week 7 of ethics. And so far, we are doing really, really great. I am very happy. Again, I know that I say this all the time, but I don't say it enough. I'm very happy with the work, the quality, the writing. Very, very insightful. Great quality of your presentations. Your papers are also very, very, very intuitive, very insightful. So kudos to everyone for that. So we only have this week 7, and then our short eighth week. And then for this week, our presentation will be very short, actually, because um, it's we're only going to be talking about the ASPA Code of Ethics. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so the ASPA Code of Ethics, and for most of us, even if you are in the private sector, if you don't necessarily work in government or the public sector, this will apply in some way, shape, or form. The ASPA Code of Ethics, because service, stewardship, and leadership are global elements that we can apply and that apply to the private sector, to the third sector, the nonprofits, etc. So the ASPA Code of Ethics is tailored to ASPA, but again, we are going to see how it's universal, really, because it's driven by these principles that are principles of leadership, of service, of integrity, of transparency, of accountability. Okay, so let's look at what the ASPA Code of Ethics tells us. The American Society for Public Administration, known as ASPA, advances the science, art, and practice of public administration. It affirms its responsibility to develop the spirit of responsible professionalism within its membership and to increase awareness and commitment to ethical principles and standards among all those who work in public service in all sectors. The members of the society commit themselves or ourselves to uphold the following principles. So, the key principles of the ASPA code. All right. So, the first one is uh, advancing the public interest. Now, this may seem like it's trivial, but it isn't, right? Because it's complicated. It's not so easy. Promoting the interests of the public and put service to the public above service to oneself. Now, this part is relatively easy, or at least it seems like it should be easy. But then think about the public interest. What is the public interest? Who determines the public interest? And uh, is it really the interest of the public, of the entire uh, polity, right? So trying to understand and trying to recognize and address that public interest is not so simple as it may seem originally. So this is the first one. Then upholding the Constitution and the law. All right. Now, here, the first thing obviously that we need to do, and we need to know our Constitution. And this is something that many folks outside of public policy or political science or government really don't have a good grasp of the Constitution, of its legal foundations, the laws, the protections, the difference between rights and powers, right? Um, so understanding the Constitution is the first step in us being able to uphold the Constitution, and then, of course, promoting the implementation of laws and policies to promote that public good. Promote democratic participation. This is all about informing the public and encouraging active engagement in governance. Okay, for this we promote transparency. We promote being responsive administrators, being responsible professionals, respecting and assisting all persons in their dealings with public organizations. So, not just the promotion part, but also helping in the logistical and the execution part. The fourth principle is strengthening social equity. This means treating all persons with fairness, justice, and equality, and respect individual differences, of course, rights, freedoms, right? When we're talking about social equity, we often come across um, challenges because equity is one of those concepts that is complicated, right? In seeking equity, sometimes we might trample upon, say, the rights of the minority or the rights of some, right? We're trying to achieve a much more equitable distribution of resources and property in our society, but in doing so, at what cost, right? At what cost does that come to? Should we tax the people that make more money to give to the ones that make less money, right? This would promote a much more equitable distribution of resources. But is it fair? Is it just? Okay, so again, not so simple when you begin to look at the real life and the application of these concepts. Then we have fully informing and advising. So this is all about promoting accurate, honest, comprehensive information, timely information, and advice to elected and appointed officials and governing board members and to staff members. So, and this is where the importance of being correct, being consistent, being timely, information has to include all those elements and characteristics so that it promotes the common good, so that it leads to the best possible scenarios, the best possible decisions, right? So, in this sense, it's important to have individuals that are trained, properly trained in actions of government, in management, in understanding risk and understanding quality control and resource allocation, etc. Then we have demonstrating personal integrity. So, this is all about adhering to the highest standards of conduct to inspire public confidence and trust in public service. Promoting ethical organizations, striving to attain the highest standards of ethics, stewardship, and public service in organizations that serve the public. You know, one concept: if you are a public administrator, if you work for a local government or for the police or for the fire department um, or anywhere for that matter, but especially for local government, a steward you are a steward for the people. That's who you are because you are a protector, a preserver, a safeguard. You are a steward of the people's the people's property, but also the people's trust. And so that makes us very, very important individuals in our society because we are stewards. And so that stewardship concept, that stewardship element is central to the Code of Ethics of ASPA. And then lastly, advancing professional excellence. And this is all about strengthening personal capabilities to act competently and ethically and encourage the professional development of others. So, in this sense, this is why it's so important now that we have schools of PA, public administration, because back 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, you had managers who used to work for the private sector. And the public sector seemed to be void of individuals who understood management and who understood how to solve problems efficiently and effectively. Where now we have schools in public administration and political science and public policy and government who uh, train. These schools are training professionals to be public sector managers and leaders, and who have the credentials, the capabilities, and the educational background to be able to serve the public by providing them with the highest quality standards of actions of management of governance. So very, very important. So these are the key principles of the ASPA code. All right, so what's on tap for this week? We have videos, a few videos that you have for week 7. I encourage you to watch them and enjoy them because they're really, really good. Then we have our multimedia introduction discussion board. So and then we have the research and writing the final paper. So that's ongoing, right? We've been kind of working on that since the beginning of the semester. So that's what you have for this week. Obviously, your big final paper is due at the end of this week, and and then we'll be done. Almost, we'll be done by next week. Okay, so as always, I bid you a wonderful week. Thank you, and God bless.